All right, let's talk about this idea of Buddhism, the religion of no religion. Let's strip it naked before we start romanticizing it. People love to throw the word Zen around like it's some aesthetic, like it's a candle you light before taking a bubble bath, like it's some soft little philosophy to make life prettier. But real Zen, it's a sledgehammer to the face of everything you thought was true about yourself. It's not a comfort blanket, it's an unmasking. It's a dismantling of every little story you've been telling yourself since you were old enough to think you were somebody. Because here's the core of it in Zen, you are not who you think you are. That identity you've been protecting like a crown jewel, just a shadow puppet on the wall. A collection of borrowed stories, old wounds, praise you got as a kid, insults you took personally, moments you were told you were enough, moments you were told you weren't. And here's the raw part, none of it is you. Now I can already hear some of you shifting in your seat. So what am I then? Just nothing. That's the part that messes with people because the ego hates that question. It wants a solid answer. It wants to be something, anything. Give it a name, give it a title, give it a brand. I'm a parent. I'm an artist. I'm a survivor. I'm a victim. I'm a winner. The mind clings to labels like they're life rafts. But Zen walks up, slices the rope, and lets you drift in open water. Scary, yeah, but that's where the truth lies. See, Zen isn't about adding something to your life. It's about removing everything that isn't real. The religion of no religion means you don't worship idols, not stone ones, not invisible ones, and not the idol of yourself you've been bowing to your whole life. And that's where this gets deep, because the real prison isn't made of walls. It's made of your own unquestioned thoughts. It's made of the belief that you are this fixed, permanent you that has to keep up with everything you've been in the past. That's why people burn out. That's why people can't sleep at night. Because they're lying there in the dark, not resting but rehearsing, over and over, who they think they need to be tomorrow so they don't lose the story they've been selling. And here's the messed up part, even your so-called problems are part of the identity you cling to. Your pain becomes your proof that you're real. I've been through this. I've survived that. You don't know what it's like to be me. Yeah. You're right, nobody does, because you doesn't actually exist the way you think it does. But if you can hear that without shutting down, if you can sit with it without running for a distraction, something shifts, you stop chasing, you stop resisting, you stop performing, and when all that noise drops, sleep doesn't become something you have to fight for, it becomes your natural state. Because when the mind isn't busy guarding the castle of your identity, it can finally rest. Think about the last time you couldn't sleep. Your body was tired, but your head was in an endless loop. Regret, future plans, imaginary arguments, replaying some stupid thing you said in 2013 like it still matters. That's the ego. That's the fake you, keeping the lights on when the store's supposed to be closed. Zen says cut the power, but here's where people make the mistake they try to do. Zen like it's another self-improvement project. They turn it into homework, sit still, breathe right, think nothing. And they are over there grading themselves like it's school. Zen laughs at that. Zen says, drop the script. Zen isn't about getting any in stillness, it's about realizing you were the stillness before you tried to practice it. Let me throw something at you. Imagine your thoughts are like clouds, and for your whole life, you've been staring at clouds, thinking that's the sky, identifying with every shape, every shift, every storm. I am this angry cloud. I am this sad cloud. I am this heavy, dark, can't see through cloud. But you were never the clouds. You were the sky. You were always the space they were moving through. The religion of no. Religion is about remembering you're the sky, not the passing weather. Now, why does this matter for deep sleep? Because you can't sleep if you're trying to control the clouds. You can't rest if you're fighting the weather, but if you just step back, see it for what it is. The clouds do what they've always done. They pass. And here's the brutally honest part: most people don't want peace. They say they do, but they don't, because peace means the end of the story. It means letting go of the drama, the identity, the thrill of being the hero or the victim. Peace is boring to the ego. It wants noise. It wants problems. It wants to keep sharpening its sword even when there's no battle left. That's why Zen isn't popular in its real form. People like the Instagram version of Zen. The live, laugh, love kind of Zen. But the raw version, the version that tells you you are not the center of the universe. You're not even the center of your own life. That's harder to sell. But it's also where the freedom is. And here's the thing, this isn't about turning into some emotionless monk on a mountain. Zen isn't about running away from life. It's about showing up in it so fully that you stop clinging to how it should be. You stop demanding it fit your little narrative. You're not running from fear or chasing happiness, you're just here, awake, clear. You start eating when you eat, walking when you walk, breathing when you breathe. No multitasking, no mental commentary, just the thing itself. And when you live like that, sleep is just another thing. Sleep when you sleep. No forcing, no trying, just letting it be what it is. Now let me hit you with something uncomfortable. If you're still holding onto something, you can't let go of a grudge, a heartbreak, a mistake. That's not Zen. That's self-imprisonment. And it's costing you your peace. It's costing you your ability to rest. And the worst part, you think you're right for holding on to it. Zen doesn't care about your reasons. It only cares about your freedom. You want to know the secret to deep sleep. Let the day die. Let it be over. Don't drag it into bed with you. If something's unresolved, fine, resolve it tomorrow. Right now, die to it. That's Zen. That's the religion of no religion. And yeah, that sounds like death because it is. The death of the little you that thinks it has to control everything. The question is, are you ready for that? Are you ready to not be the center of your own obsession? Are you ready to watch your stories dissolve without rushing to replace them? Because if you are, the silence on the other side isn't scary. It's freedom. It's peace. It's the kind of rest no mattress, no pill, no sound machine can give you. It's the rest that comes when you stop existing as a somebody and start existing as the space where everything comes and goes. That's where Zen lives. That's where you sleep. That's where you wake up for real. Now, are you willing to go there tonight? So let's keep walking further into this. Because here's the part no one tells you when they hand you some watered down piece of mind. Poster with cherry blossoms in the background. Real peace isn't soft. It's not pastel colored. It's raw. It's violent in the way it rips away everything false. It doesn't stroke your ego. It burns it down. We've got this idea that Zen is about becoming calm. But calmness isn't the goal. It's a side effect. Zen doesn't want you calm. Zen wants you free. And freedom at first doesn't feel calm at all. It feels like being stripped naked in a cold wind. All your little crutches gone. Your titles gone. The safety net of I am this, I am that, gone. It's like you've been living in a house your whole life. Every wall covered in pictures, memories, achievements, people you've loved, people you've hated, and one day Zen walks in with a sledgehammer. You think it's here to help you rearrange the furniture. No, it's here to take the walls down, and you panic. Because you've been living inside those walls for so long, you think you'll die without them. But here's the truth, the walls were the prison. That's why Zen is called the religion of no religion. It's not here to give you new walls. It's not here to make you bow to some invisible ruler in the sky. It's here to point to the fact that you built the prison, and then it hands you the key not as a gift, but as a challenge. But most people don't use it. They like the idea of freedom more than freedom itself. Because freedom is terrifying when you've never lived without chains. Here's the kicker, you're holding those chains even in your sleep. You lie there in bed, lights off, and instead of resting, you're in a silent courtroom, replaying conversations, judging yourself, defending yourself, planning revenge, plotting how tomorrow will go so you don't lose control. That's why deep sleep feels like a miracle to some people, because their mind has forgotten how to shut the hell up. Zen says, you don't shut it up by force. You don't duct tape your thoughts. You stop feeding them. You see them for what they are, clouds, the you've been protecting, just another cloud, the anger you've been carrying since you were 15, cloud, the shame you still feel over something no one else even remembers. Cloud, when you realize you're the sky, you don't have to fight the clouds anymore, and that's when you can really sleep. But let's get real here. This isn't just about sleeping at night. This is about how you're living in the daylight. Because if your days are chaos, your nights will be too. You think you can run at 100 miles an hour, dodging your own reflection all day, then slam the brakes at midnight and expect peace. No. Life doesn't work like that. You have to start dying to things in the middle of the day. That doesn't mean quitting your job and moving to the mountains. It means letting the small deaths happen every moment. The death of your need to win every argument, the death of your need to prove you're enough, the death of that little habit of scrolling endlessly so you don't feel the emptiness. Every time you let one of those die without rushing to replace it, you're practicing real Zen. You're lightening the load you're carrying to bed. You want to talk about discipline. This is the real discipline, not forcing yourself into some perfect morning routine, not choking down kale smoothies while hating your life. The real discipline is not touching the story. When something happens, you don't have to write a novel about it in your head. You don't have to decide whether it's good or bad before you even feel it. You just let it be. Like watching a bird fly across the sky, it doesn't need your opinion to exist. And yeah, that's hard, because the ego survives by narrating. It survives by giving everything a meaning that keeps it in the center of the plot. Zen says, burn the plot, and when you do, you realize you've been free this whole time. But here's the dangerous thing: when you taste that kind of freedom, there's no going back. You can't pretend to believe your own stories anymore. You can't fully reattach to the drama, even if part of you wants to. That's why people walk away from this path. They're not ready to lose their own reflection, and maybe you're not ready either. That's fine. But at least know the truth, because the truth will keep knocking on your door. It'll whisper to you in the moments between distractions, in the car, in the shower, in those weird seconds before sleep where your guard is down. It'll say, you are not who you think you are. And if you're brave enough, you'll stop pretending not to hear it. So tonight, when you lay down, here's what I want you to do. Don't fight the thoughts. Don't chase them either. Just watch them like clouds. Let them drift until they pass. You don't need to be the hero tonight. You don't need to be the victim tonight. You don't need to be anybody tonight. Just the sky, because here's the secret: nobody tells you the sky never sleeps. But it's never tired either. That's Zen. That's the religion of no religion. That's freedom. Listen to me, if you take nothing else from all of this, take this. You've been dragging around a ghost your whole life, and you've been calling it me. You've been defending it, feeding it, styling its hair, making sure the world sees it in the right light. And Zen doesn't come to make the ghost look prettier. Zen comes to tell you the ghost isn't real, and if you let it go, nothing you actually are will be lost. But here's where the punch lands. Letting go isn't pretty. It's not gentle. It's not lighting a candle and humming yourself into a trance. It's standing in the middle of your life, raw and unshielded, and saying, fine, take it, take the story, Take the labels. Take the need to be right, to be important, to be someone. I'm done. And when you do that, the silence is deafening. At first, it feels like death. Then, if you stay with it, it feels like truth. And you start to see how much of your suffering was self-authored. How much of your sleeplessness was self-inflicted. How many of your so-called problems were just clouds you kept calling storms. So here's your challenge tonight. Don't carry the day into your bed. Let it die, all of it. The wins, the losses, the drama, the expectations. Die to it like the sun dies to the night without complaint. And tomorrow, die to that day too, and the one after that. Keep dying to everything that isn't here right now. That's how you live without chains. That's how you sleep without weight. Because when you stop trying to be somebody, you get to be everything: the sky, the space, the silence, the peace that doesn't need a reason. So if you want freedom, if you want real deep rest, stop guarding the prison. Burn the map to who you think you are. Let the ghost go, and when there's nothing left to protect, you'll find you never needed protecting in the first place. That's the call. That's the strike. That's Zen, the religion of no religion. Now, are you ready to let go?